Welcome to the Girlfriend's Guide to Senior Living. I'm Gail Peacock.
And I'm Lori Williams.
And we are so happy you could join us. We're passionate about helping families navigate the senior living maze. Each episode, we will share with you our knowledge of senior living and help you to eliminate the uncertainties you face in the search for senior resources. Hey girlfriends, today we're going to try something different. Obviously you can tell that our format is different. We're in a different studio. And we're going to be breaking our show into 2 bite-sized chunks so we can dig deeper into each of the topics and so it's not so overwhelming for you. Now you're going to get to see us 2 days a week.
Yay!
On Mondays and Wednesdays.
That's very exciting. Today's topic is lifelong learning, reinventing yourself. So lifelong learning is defined as creating and maintaining a positive attitude to learn, whether it's professional or personal. People are motivated to learn because they want to. It's a deliberate act.
Our first segment is purposefully living the second half of your life and opening yourself up to new experiences and new opportunities. Our second segment is going to be lifelong learning, quenching
Yay, she said it right.
your curiosity through travel. Quenching your curiosity through travel.
She worked hard on that word.
Thank you. Had not to say it twice. So let's stop saying one day I will, because today is now. And Lori has a quote that she's going to share with us.
Yeah, we were looking at some quotes when we were working on the show, and we came up with this one that we liked a lot, which is, a mind that is stretched by a new experience can never go back to its old dimension. So we were talking about just living in these times that we have the internet, we have Facebook, we have so many different ways to share experiences. And, there's ways, the world is it's a big world, but we're a lot closer now. We can do a lot more together that we weren't able to do before. So, for example, I was telling Gail that my brother had gone to Europe, and he was calling me every day, doing a video on Messenger in Facebook, which I didn't even know you could do that. So he was showing me, here I am, Heathrow Airport in London, and he's showing me the airport, and he was in Portugal, he was in Spain, and he showed me little bits all along the way, and then even brought me back a 5-pound chocolate bar from France.
That's sweet.
Yeah, that was awesome. It's like a brick. It's awesome. I have to take a knife and chop it. Yeah, but it's wonderful. So it's just kind of cool how you can just do things like that. And then we were talking about other things that a lot of seniors and my family. Well, almost a senior, qualify. I guess I qualify. But it's genealogy has become really big, and ancestry, like ancestry.com. And a lot of people are finding out what their DNA, what they really are. Everyone I've talked to, it's so funny. They think they were, 100% this, or they had German, or they had whatever. We found out we're not what we thought we were. I'm actually French and Irish and a few other things, but it's just kind of cool to find that out. So just some other kind of fun things, lifelong learning.
And we're never too old to learn.
Never.
Right? Something else is going back to school to either try a different career or try a different language if you've always wanted to try it. Or before you travel somewhere, you maybe brush up a little bit on that language that you're going to be hearing or trying to speak. We found these quotes that we'd like to share with you guys from AARP. We are the first generation of Americans who change careers at 50. I think that's pretty interesting.
I think that is too.
I think too, because we're a lot more, I'm going to say again about the internet, we're a lot more worldly. And so we're not so afraid of the unknown because we can do research and check different things.
It's easier to access things now.
To figure out if you're going to be successful. The other one is 40% of people working at age 62 change careers since turning 55. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So working at the age of 62, they changed their career. So they're in a new career after 55. And I would assume from that they're successful because they're still in that career by 62.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the thing about your second career is it's not about climbing the ladder anymore. It's more about following your passion. Taking your new career will take off at any age as long as you have the heart and the passion for what you're doing. Something that we we came across that we think is very interesting. My husband's in the restaurant business. And so there was an article about fast food restaurants that are looking for seniors to come and work at the fast food restaurants because they have experience, they have customer service, they want to be there. Imagine
They're not
that.
on their phone.
Yes. Or checking their watch every
Yeah.
5 minutes to be like, can I go? Can I get off early? They actually want to be there, and they want to have a conversation with the customers and make it an experience because the want is there. And I think that's really important. And fast food restaurants. So if you're a senior and you need a job, check out your local fast food.
Chick-fil-A.
Yes, exactly.
So, in talking about this story is that I kind of I fall right into that because I'm 54. And so at 54, I thought, you know what, I'm going to start my own business. And I started my senior business. I've worked with seniors for years and years, but I thought, I can do this myself. Why not start my own business? So I did. And as Gail and I, were sharing about this, I think what happens, or what I'm sure is what happens as we get older, we have experience, we have knowledge, and we have more confidence. So when I was 25, I obviously didn't have all the experience I have now.
True. Yes.
But also didn't have the confidence to say, yeah, I'm going to start a business. So, and once we've worked so many years, worked in the corporate world, and we've, had bosses, it's kind of nice. It's like really nice not to have a boss.
Yes, very
Be
true.
your own boss, make your own rules, So it's a nice thing for sure.
I have a friend that's kind of along the same lines as Lori's story. She's been in the corporate business for over 20 years and decided that she wanted to follow her passion and get into retail and open a boutique store. So she made plans and she resigned from her job, and now she's having her own store and opens it every day, looks forward to going to work. It's a different passion and helping people at a different level with their fashion and kind of what makes them feel pretty. I think that really makes a difference in her life. So people are doing this, and I'm sure you all have a story of somebody that's actually living their dream.
And sometimes in the second half of your life is where you discover a passion that you didn't have when you were younger. So why not follow it?
And you're not afraid to try.
Exactly.
So we talk about reinventing ourselves. It sounds really great. It sounds really easy. But how do we do that, right? So how do we stop limiting ourselves? And so we're going to share some tips for you on how to do that, just some ideas. So the first one is read wisely. And widely, sorry, and often,
wisely,
and wisely, and often. So something that I was told in one of my travels, I met a gentleman, and he said that a good idea is to go to the magazine store in the airport and pick a magazine that you had never had any interest for, you've never read, you didn't even know there was a magazine, and start reading it, and you can learn a whole different industry, a whole different way of, my thing was a way of thinking. So Lori was making fun of me because I pulled a farming magazine. Don't ask.
Now she can milk your cow.
Maybe I was in Kansas. I don't know. But it was about a totally different industry, but it was very interesting to see what their goals are and kind of just see how their life is.
I love it. I think it's a great a great thing. I love that guy shared that with you.
Mm-hmm. That was a good one. I keep that with me a lot.
Yeah.
There's business reports that are very, I'm going to say accounting-ish, and just to look at, again, what people are looking for. It's so different than, I'm in the sales world, so it's way different than how we think. So something to kind of take with you.
Yeah, it kind of helps you get out of your box, think out of the box. The other thing is keep smart company. So reach out to people who inspire you. So maybe you love watching cooking shows. Maybe you love Pioneer Woman. Well, why not take it to the next step and go take a cooking class or make one of her recipes or travel to Oklahoma? I guess you can actually go and visit her in Oklahoma.
My mother-in-law was just there.
I think that'd be kind of cool. There's just a lot you can do. The other thing is teaching others. So maybe I'm going to use an example that's for my family, but my mother and her mother, they crocheted and knitted. They know how to do all this stuff. Well, I had no interest and no skill.
I was going to say, it's not really interest, but okay.
Okay, there's skill. I could not get it. So, but I just really wasn't interested either. So my daughter at age 6 all of a sudden wants to crochet. So how cool that my mom, and we have a picture that we're going to pop up there, but my mom taught her to crochet at age 6. And I love that that's being passed down because it, skipped me. It's
skipped a generation.
It did. So my sweet little daughter loves to crochet, and she's 15 now. And I actually do find myself saying to her, Abby, stop crocheting and go to bed. I mean, that's not a sentence I ever thought that I would say.
And there you go.
She's like on road trips crocheting like a cute little old lady. It's adorable.
I love it. One of the hospitals that we were tag teaming with at one of our communities, they had the retired doctors, and they would come back and kind of teach their wisdom, if you will. So they've been doing, their industry for over 20, 25 years. And they would come back and share their knowledge. And, things might have changed on how you actually conduct surgeries or do different things. Medicine changes every day, it seems like. But at least you have the wisdom of what the basics are. So we thought that was another really good idea about teaching others.
That is definitely. Then we also talked about experimenting with new ways to learn. So we kind of talked about this. Okay, this is funny. So like my husband loves documentaries, and so I kind of like walked past when he's watching them, but he had a World War II one on, and I sat down and I got so like into it. And so now I am like all about I'm laughing because the way she's looking at me, but I am all about World War II documentaries, and I have learned so much. And so now that's something, that's outside the box, something I never thought I would do, but because Mark was watching it, I jumped in and watched it.
She could have a conversation about World War II with all of our seniors at our communities.
I can tell you all kinds of things.
That's a wonderful thing.
Yes, it really is.
Another idea is keeping lists of places that you want to visit. And that you want to explore. And I think, again, if we believe it, it will happen. So if you have to think outside the box and exactly what you want to explore.
And we talked about a vision board. If you've ever heard of a vision board, we're going to have one popped up on the screen. But that's a great way to kind of have like a visual representation of things you want to do. So maybe you want to go to Italy. So maybe put a picture of Italy up there. Maybe you want to learn to golf. So just have a visual representation. This is what I want to do this year. And, you put it somewhere you look at it every day. So it's very effective. Kind of going to the next section, volunteering is another great way. And we found this other quote that we loved. It's, as a volunteer, I got more from the experience than I gave. I love that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
And that is what we hear from a lot of the seniors that do volunteer at the different communities. And even my girlfriend was telling me last night, we had an event last night, and my girlfriend was telling me that she makes her kids volunteer. And so they go to Petco. I didn't even know this was around. They go to Petco and they love on the kitties. So they clean the cages, they feed the kitties, and they love on the kitties. And I would love to have a cat, but my family will not allow it. So anyway, I'm going to join them, and they get to love on them. So that's even, it's not just about seniors volunteering, it's about all of us and kind of filling that place in our heart.
That's wonderful.
And that kind of moves us to the benefits of volunteering, right? There has to be benefits for us to do anything, it seems like. One of the ideas was preventing isolation and depression, which if we get out of our house and we explore different things and get to, like the kittens, you get to love on something, it does make a difference.
It really does. Second one is it improves intergenerational relationships. So maybe, you're volunteering at church with the kids, like Kids Sunday School. So you're learning from them, they're learning from you. And also at the schools, maybe you volunteer to go up there and help read to the kids. So it's wonderful.
And they can teach you how to upgrade your phone and how to take a selfie.
Yeah, in kindergarten.
Yes, exactly. So this is all good stuff. It also promotes mental health. And prevents dementia. And I think it's just from the camaraderie that we see in volunteering, again, having a purpose. Yeah. Just keeps your mind active.
I think that's the key there, staying active with your mind. So we always hear, volunteering, there's the typical ways. So there's like volunteering at church, in your neighborhood, the hospital, senior centers, there's so many different ways, but we found a couple of different out-of-the-box ways. So one would be, and we touched on this earlier, but using your expertise. So say you're a retired accountant. Well, there's a lot of organizations that would love for you to come in and just kind of be an extra set of eyes looking at the books and helping, or teacher, or even an artist. I mean, you have that experience. Why not give back? And there's people who want you want to be with you. Want to hear
they want your opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
It makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So one that I found a few years back, which I'm still very inspired by, is the Silver Hair Congress. So I learned about this in Oklahoma. A gentleman came up to our booth that we were working in and asked if we knew about it. He was very proud. So this is in every state. And what it does is it has seniors that are fighting for senior rights.
I love this.
Silver Hair, which is adorable, Congress. So they're fighting for anything that has to do with senior rights, from Medicare, Medicaid, all those different types of things. And then my biggest kind of favorite thing is that they're the ones that actually got the silver alert that you see on the highways. If somebody's missing or something, they got that in action to be put on all the highways. So they're making a difference. And I kind of like the fact that they're fighting for themselves.
Exactly.
Like it's the age thing where
Absolutely.
it's really impacting them, and they speak in front of Congress and everything. So something to look for in your state. Every state has it.
And you only have to be 55, right?
Yes,
55 and up.
Yes.
So I can join soon.
That's her birthday present. I'm going to buy her a membership.
Oh, good. Thank you. No, actually, I think it's a wonderful thing. So in close, I mean, we started this show with One Day I Will. And hopefully this information has inspired you to start new things and to think of things differently, kind of outside the box. So your age doesn't matter. So just think about that. Your age does not matter, and remember it. Live to your fullest. Remember also, we're here to help you with any resources. We share a lot in these programs, and we learn all the time. We learn new things. So we are happy to help you and answer any questions you may have. So stay tuned for part 2, lifelong learning, quenching. We have a hard time with that word. Quenching your curiosity through travel.
And don't forget to keep following us on #GirlsFriendsOnTheRoad.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed this episode. As your girlfriends, we'd love to hear from you. Each episode will feature new questions. Don't keep it a secret. Share us with your friends. We're on Facebook, YouTube, podcast platforms, and even in your Alexa. See you.